This presentation is about planning a research project for English 1302. I'm Dr. Kendra Unruh. This entire semester in English 1302, our assignments will be focused on research writing. The main assignment for this paper is a research paper due at the end of the semester. Throughout the semester, you will be writing parts of this research paper. However, the entire research project requires that you plan your research, and that you start early so that you don't get behind. Otherwise, you will be left at the end of the semester scrambling, and more than likely, you will have trouble finishing the project in time. So let's talk about what we can do to plan a research project and be successful in this course. Habits of successful researchers. There are many things that successful researchers do that can help them get their work done successfully and on time. The first one is to plan your work. Work a little bit each day and stay on schedule. That is why I have broken up the research paper into different parts and made the due dates due all throughout the semester. The second thing is to take initiative. Get engaged and stay engaged. Pick a topic that you care about and that you will be able to do a research paper on for the entire semester. Next, keep a research log. We'll talk more about the research log here in just a few minutes. Next, employ a range of reading skills. This one is important to be efficient with your time. Skim articles, books, and internet articles. And then once you've discovered whether or not they will be helpful for your research paper, then read deeper. If you spend too much time reading articles and books that aren't helpful for your research paper, you will waste a lot of time. One thing that you can do with books is to look at the table of contents or the index to see if it talks specifically about your topic or something that you think you need for your research paper. Another good thing to do is to read abstracts for articles. See if the abstract sounds like something that would be helpful for you and the argument that you're trying to make. The next one is avoid premature closure on thinking and research. This means that you don't just use the first sources that you find. When you do a database search, you're probably going to come up with hundreds of thousands of possible articles. If you pick the first 6, you are probably overlooking many other articles that would be more helpful than those first 6 listed. So make sure you employ a range of reading skills to scan through them, to look at the abstracts, and to read a little bit of each one to see if it will be helpful for your research paper. The final one is to ask for help. Our library has many reference librarians that their job is to help students. You can do this online or in person. There is more information about this in the library guide. The next thing is to write a research question. It's important that your question leads you to an argument, since this is an argument research paper. Some questions that you can use to help you come up with a good research question are, what are the causes of X? What are the implications of X? What larger context does X belong to? What issues are people debating about X? And what do most people think about X? So for instance, if we were going to look at recent cases of police brutality and possibly requiring police officers to wear body cams, we would ask, what are the causes of police brutality? What are the implications of using body cameras? What larger context does body cameras or police brutality belong to? What issues are people debating about body cameras? And what do most people think about police brutality? You also want to look at your topic from different perspectives. Play the make-believe game. Pretend that you're on the other side. What would somebody who is on the other side of the debate say against your topic? You can also use reporters' questions. Ask the who, what, where, when, why, and how. Again, your question must lead to an argument, though. For example, you might ask, how does princess culture affect young girls? Or should police officers wear body cameras? Both of these questions lead to an argument. For the first one, you could argue that princess culture is good for young girls or that it is harmful for young girls. The second one could be police officers should wear body cameras or police officers should not wear body cameras. Create a research log. The first thing you want to put in your research log is your research question. And then you can put any other ideas or questions you think of while doing preliminary reading and research. The next thing you want to keep track of is the search terms that you've used. When you start looking through the library's databases, you want to keep track of what terms you use today so that you don't use the same terms tomorrow. Because if you keep using the same search terms over and over again, you will come up with the same results over and over, and you won't be getting any new articles that could be helpful for your research paper. For instance, if we were going to do the issue of police brutality, you might start on day 1 by using the search terms police and brutality. However, the next day you would want to change it up a little bit. Maybe you would want to use police and race relations, since a lot of this topic deals with race. Another suggestion would be to change police to law enforcement. So you could say law enforcement and brutality. Or if you wanted to be specific about looking at body cameras, you could say police and body cameras. You would probably want to search all these different terms to see if you could find many different types of articles that might be helpful. In addition, you want to keep notes about which databases you've searched. It's the same thing as using the same search terms over and over again. Our library has many different databases that can be helpful for you. So if you search on Academic Search Complete today, maybe tomorrow you want to do opposing viewpoints. The final thing you should include is a working bibliography. This is where you include the MLA citations for each of your sources so that you aren't in danger of plagiarizing. Here are a few tips to help you as you're going through the research process. If you are going to copy or print any of your sources, make sure you don't cut off the page numbers. These page numbers will be helpful once you do your in-text citations for MLA format. Also make sure that you print all your pages so you don't lose any necessary information for the Works Cited page. Be sure to staple printed copies and keep them in a folder so that you don't drop some of the pages. And whenever possible, choose PDF files. This is again important for page numbers, which you will need for in-text citations in your research paper. Keep all electronic copies in a clearly labeled folder. I suggest that you email all of your sources to yourself and make a folder in your email for English 1302. Keep all of your sources there so that you can easily find them if you lose one of your sources. And you can also bookmark online sources to help you keep track of them as well.